Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. We're here with our beloved Sheikh Kamal Abu Maryam and our brother Ahmed Hraichie. We're just here at Roselands Mosque. We just want to elaborate a little bit with the Sheikh about the importance of knowing the tree of the prophets, where it all began with Adam alayhi salam all the way down to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam.
Okay, I want to pass on first the word, little word for Ahmed, and then I'll conclude.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi, brother and sister. SubhanAllah, every time I walk into a house now or a place of worship and I see the tree of the prophets, I feel very, very honored that this thing has now come into our lives in our time of we're living. The 25 prophets mentioned in the Quran are all on this tree. But what's the use of this being on your wall if it's not utilized? If your kids aren't being taught the lineage of the prophets? What's the use of this being on your wall if you're not learning from it yourself? My brothers and sisters, it is just like the Quran. As we know, Ramadan is coming. The Quran comes out in Ramadan and gets packed away after Ramadan. The same with this. This is on your wall 365 days a year. We must all try to test ourselves and our children in challenging ourselves in learning who these prophets are. You are going to meet them, inshallah. We're going to see them on the day of the day of reckoning and the hereafter. Why don't we know who they are before we meet them?
Great word and a great piece of advice. Look, Allah the Almighty, my dear brothers and sisters, says in the Quran about the prophets, أُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ هَدَى اللَّهُ فَبِهُدَاهُ مُقْتَدِي. Indeed, these are the people whom Allah has guided. Then take them as your role models. Through their guidance, take them as guiders and be guided by them. SubhanAllah, so there's a huge benefit from knowing the Prophet's stories. There's huge benefits and lessons on a daily basis for families, for fathers, for mothers, for kids, etc. These are the most beautiful stories. نَحْنُ نَقُصُّ عَلَيْكَ أَحْسَنِ الْقَصَصِ, Allah the Almighty says. We reveal to you, we send down to you the most beautiful stories, and definitely the stories of the prophets from Adam alayhi salam to Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam are the most beautiful stories. They have the most beautiful benefits and lessons. And that's what we want from you to do, is when reading these stories, to benefit from them, to see how these great men lived, how they behaved, how they conducted themselves in no matter what situation they went through. So there's a great benefit from revising their stories, reading their stories, sharing their stories, and of course, as Ahmed said, as a family, studying together their stories and sharing it with your kids and testing your kids on their stories and the benefits and lessons to be learned, so that everyone can benefit bi'idhnillah. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Also, my brothers, the struggles and the tests and tribulations and the trials these prophets went through, may Allah grant them the highest level of Jannah. We think we got problems, Sheikh. We think we're getting tests, but we're going through nothing compared to what they went through to preserve this beautiful religion. And as the Sheikh said, take them as your role models. And how many of us, we don't know what to name our child? Our wives are pregnant, we're trying to think of a name. What better place to look than the Quran and Sunnah? You got the beautiful 25 names of these beautiful prophets and messengers and Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And for the sisters, there's Sarah, there's Aisha, there's Khadija, there's Asya. There's so many beautiful names to choose from through the lives of the prophets. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you all. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.